Welcome back. The long-awaited relief to home buyers in real estate sector is finally here. The government yesterday cleared an alternate investment fund worth 25,000 crore rupees to breathe life into the stalled middle and low housing projects that are currently stuck. J.C. Sharma, the Vice Chairman and MD of SOBHA Developers, joins in now. Mr. Sharma, I presume this will not benefit SOBHA Developers in any way. None of your projects are currently stalled, which require this last-mile funding. So first, if you could just clarify if there is any direct impact on SOBHA. And secondly, do you think this 25,000 crore amount is enough? Because there are certain reports which suggest that the total quantity of stalled projects in India is 1.8 trillion.
Good afternoon. I think it's a very good and fair question. As far as your observations, we are not looking for this kind of an alternative funding either from the government or from the private equity or from any other institutions. We can fund our own projects without any issue. But coming back to the major issue, the real estate sector today has been suffering on account of low demand, and the customer sentiments were required to be improved upon. When we look at the way the office space absorption has been happening in the key cities in India for last many years, it has not been matched with the improvement in sentiments as far as residential demand is concerned. So we believe that this kind of a situation where only the government could have intervened effectively and ensured that the last mile bridge finance is provided to the people where the project is viable, despite those accounts may be under NPA, under NCLT or some kind of a dispute, to ensure that wherever the project viability is there, if this funding is done, I think this is the right step in the right direction, which will allow hundreds and thousands of customers to start getting delivery, and indirectly this will improve the sentiments in our sector, and we hope that all of us will be beneficiary due to that.
Okay, it will improve sentiments, sir, but what would have been the ideal amount, from this 25,000 crore? Because we had various experts today who said that maybe this amount is not really enough. Any rough estimates you have?
It's a good question, but I personally feel that what we are being given to understand, because 1,600 projects, most of the projects today have got structure completed, the finishing not being done, 50% or so already sold, but the existing customers also not parting with the money. So I believe if the project is viable and the customers are prepared to pay the balance money, this kind of a last mile funding should ensure that with the customers funding advantage, probably the things will be okay. We also heard Finance Minister making it very clear that they are only going to fund those projects where some work has happened and the viability is there. So they will be prioritizing. And in that prioritization, once the customers who have made money and paid 50 to 80% of their dues, once they start getting, in our view, this will be a step in right direction. 25,000 seems to be, to begin with, a good amount. And as and when the requirement is there and the developers also from their side start delivering now onwards, at least as committed, probably the amount also will increase.
Mr. Sharma, how long do you think this fund will be up and running and can, write its first check?
It is anybody's guess, but the way they have acted upon, I think maybe in a month's time, this whole structure should be in place. The developers should be able to go through the SBI capital markets to ensure that the viability is proved and the fund starts coming in.
Okay. You also released a quarterly operational update prior to your numbers. We didn't quite chat with you after that. But when we see that update, we can see a dip in your volumes as well as sales value. If you could tell us the reason for that?
See, we are coming out tomorrow with our financial results, and we strongly feel that the kind of environment in which we are there, right, our optimism continues to be there. And we hope to share, all these things post our results tomorrow.
Okay. Mr. Sharma, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for
Thank you.
joining in. So it's a good step by the government, according to SOBHA developers, though the company per se, this real estate company, would not benefit considering their balance sheet is amongst the stronger ones. We'll get into a break on that note. And the